So polynomials. Let's define polynomials first. Poly, you might have heard poly, the meaning of poly a lot. Polygamy, or you might have heard poly in chemicals as well, right? So poly means many. Nomials basically it means terms. So when you have terms like, let's compare this like a train, choo-choo train, right? So these are terms. It can be 2x or a constant term like 5 or any complex term like 2i and stuff like that. It's just connected by plus and minus like that. So you have many terms connected with plus and minus. That is polynomials, right? So you can have different names. I am going to use the standard of degrees. Degrees of polynomials. Okay, so if you have ax plus b and then a is of course not 0, then how many degrees do you have? X is multiplied by 1 and then the power is 1. So I would just say the degree in this part is just 1, right? Ax squared plus bx plus c, same as well. All a is not 0 all the way down. The degree is to the second degree, right? And then we have different names for that. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with these names. It's linear, quadratic. So you might have heard the linear equation, quadratic equation, or quadratic function, So most of the time in middle school, you focus on those polynomials. And then we raise one more, third degree. We call it cubic polynomial or cubic function. And then one more, we have fourth power. And then you have fourth degree, and then we call it quartic. And then you're not going to see a lot of polynomials with a very complicated, but higher degrees in most of times. Most of the time, we're going to talk about in this unit, this cubic and quartic. Okay. I have another question, guys. If you have not degree, let's call it terms. Number of terms. How many terms do you have in this case? If b and a, they're not both 0, in this case, 1, 2. 2 terms right here. Maximum number of terms in linear, you have 2. So what do you call this when you have 2 terms? Vicky, do you know the name if you have 2 terms? What do we call that polynomial?
What is the first letter?
B.
B.
Yeah.
Bar. Sorry, I don't know.
What is 自行车?
Binomial?
Exactly, because bicycle, it has 2 wheels. So if you have 2, something number 2 means binomial, right? You have maximum number of terms in quadratic is 3. What would you call? Vicky, can you guess now?
Q-nomial.
What do you call the bicycle that has 3 wheels?
Trinomial.
Right, trinomial. Very good. Okay, maximum number of terms for cubic is 4. Julie, can you guess?
Quanormal.
Quadronomial. Very good. Right. Number 5. Even though you can use the Latin words for quartic, I think it's a pentanomial or something. It's number 5. But when the degree number of terms or degrees get higher, it's too confusing and difficult. So people just say, okay, this polynomial has maximum 5 terms, something like that. So you don't really call it. Yeah, let's just leave it like that. I am going to, because it's kind of meaningless to memorize, so you don't need to really, spend a lot of time on this. Let's talk about coefficient. So those A, B, C, D right here, these are called coefficient, right? So the first one is called the leading coefficient. Coefficient means a number that's multiplied to its variable x. So these are just coefficient. if you have leading coefficient 0, then it's not the degree of 4 anymore, right? So leading coefficient is very important. What do you call this C? C has a special name. Sorry, A, B, C, D, E. E has a special name, guys. It's not multiplied to x. So instead of calling it coefficient, we call it a different name.
Constant.
Very good, constant. Very good. Okay, the constant means the term not containing the variable. Okay. So we defined all the terminologies here, and then we can just move on to mathematics now. Are you okay with the definition of terms now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So it was maybe a review from last year. Okay, let's do this. So real polynomials, that's what we're talking about. A polynomial with real coefficients. So you're not going to have complex numbers as your coefficient. So that's what we're dealing with. Let's talk about operations of polynomials. Operations of polynomials. So plus, minus, addition, subtraction, and then multiplication and division. That's polynomials. Okay, so we take polynomials and add and subtract, multiply, and divide. So let's talk about addition first. Oh, that's quite a summary, review from what you already know. So nothing different from what you have learned last year in Algebra 1. So let's call PQ x cubed minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. And then qx is defined as 2x cubed plus x squared minus 11. Let's put it that way. So let's try to get the sum of it. And then also after that, let's get the difference of 2, p and q. You just have to add them, combine the like terms. So if you have x cubed, then you have to combine them. Let's take cube terms, and then you have 2x squared plus x squared, these terms, right? What do you have for x? Only 3x, and then minus 5 minus 11. So I just take the highest degrees and then the second highest degree and so on. So the answer is going to be 3x cubed minus x squared plus 3x minus 16. Right, do you agree? Is there any mistake that I'm making? Just checking. Does it look correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. How about subtraction? X cubed minus 2x cubed minus 2x squared minus x squared plus 3x minus 5 plus 11. Seems like that. And then the answer is going to be x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 6. So that is just simply adding and subtracting the like terms. Combine the like terms. That's the key here. So let's move on quickly because we know that too well. Is it okay, guys? Can I just move on without all the details?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Scalar multiplication. So today, I think it's more like a review for you because you might have learned how to operate polynomials last year. Multiplication. So scalar multiplication is just you're multiplying some kind of constant number, 3 or 2, to the entire polynomial. So px is, for instance, defined as, okay, this is a quartic. And then I am going to multiply 3 to px, the entire thing. And what do you call this 3? This is called scalar or a constant. So you're multiplying scalar or a constant to the entire polynomial px. So that's why it's called a scalar multiplication. So you have 3 times 4, x to the power of 4 minus 6x cubed plus 12x plus 21 because you're multiplying it to each term.